Hello guys, today we are going to be taking a look at zones of latitude and how they affect climate. This is going to be important, especially for us as we do our imaginary continent project, because as a part of that project you will be identifying the zone of latitude your continent is in and labeling that on your poster. And then you'll be using your knowledge of zones of latitude to help describe your continent's climate during our performance task writing. Okay, so let's first talk about why we have zones of latitude. And really it comes from the fact that energy from the sun heats up the Earth, and due to the tilt of the Earth's axis, different areas of the planet get different amounts of direct sunlight. And therefore, as a result, some regions are warmer than others. The areas that get more direct sunlight tend to be warmer, the areas that don't tend to be colder. Now, as we take a look at these two diagrams, they are showing the same thing, and we can see that there are two polar zones, one near the North Pole, the other one near the South Pole. Those areas get very little direct sunlight and tend to be quite a bit colder than the rest of the planet. Then we have the temperate zones just below or above the polar zones, which is the zone that we live in the United States. In our part of the United States, we're in the temperate zone. And we can see that because we get all four seasons. We get a distinct winter, fall, spring, and summer. And then the tropical zone, or the tropics, get the most direct sunlight, and that's why it tends to be, temperature-wise, pretty much the same all year round, with it being warm. Now, looking at the polar zones more specifically, they can also be called the high latitudes, and they are the areas north of the Arctic Circle and south of the Antarctic Circle. Again, you can see them in blue in the picture. In the polar zones, sun is below the horizon for parts of the year, and if it's not below the horizon, it's just barely above the horizon, which is why they get so little direct sunlight. And because of that, the temperatures are cool to bitterly cold all year round. Now with the temperate zones, they're also known as the middle latitudes. And these are the areas between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. And again, in these areas, they will have a hot summer, a cold winter, and a moderate spring and fall. And then last but not least, we have the tropical zone. This area is also known as the low latitudes, and it's the area between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, and the equator runs right through the middle of it. In this area, the sun is overhead for most of the year, and therefore it is usually hot. Now, I thought this map was kind of interesting because you can see where the zones of latitude are without even really having to see them marked out. The areas that are purple and blue are in the polar zone, and that's going along with the temperatures that we see in the key. And then the areas in green and light yellow are in the temperate zone, and again, that can be seen by the temperatures in the key. And then the areas that are in the deeper yellow and the orange and the red are the areas with the highest temperature, and they go along with the tropical zone. Alrighty guys, so that's our mini lesson on zones of latitude. You can feel free to rewatch this, but after you're done watching it and feel comfortable with the material, head back into our unit to take the zones of latitude check for understanding, and after that, follow the rest of the directions for today's lesson. Have a great day, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.